The shadows of Southeast Asian folklore are returning to the big screen with a terrifying new nightmare, Khadam 2026. Imagine inheriting not wealth, not property, but a dark supernatural curse that has haunted your bloodline for generations. This upcoming Malaysian psychological horror film promises intense fear, emotional storytelling, and chilling suspense that horror fans will not want to miss. Directed by Shamyl Othman and written by Fariza Azlina, Khadam takes viewers deep into the terrifying world of Saka, a supernatural spirit passed down through family lineage. The story follows the terrifying story of Aghniny Haque as Melor, a young woman whose life is shattered after the sudden death of her mother. While grieving the loss, she discovers a horrifying truth hidden within her family for generations. Her bloodline carries a mysterious saka, a supernatural entity passed down from mother to daughter. What first seems like an ancient family belief soon turns into a living nightmare as strange visions, disturbing whispers, and violent paranormal events begin surrounding her life. Melor initially refuses to believe that dark inheritance is real. However, the entity slowly tightens its grip on her mind, emotions, and body. The more she resists, the more dangerous and aggressive the spirit becomes. Soon, terrifying incidents begin happening around her home, and Melor realizes that the true target of the saka is not just her, it is her young daughter, who is destined to become the next mistress of this horrifying legacy. As fear consumes her world, Melor desperately searches for a way to break the curse before the entity fully possesses her family. But escaping the saka is not easy. The spirit feeds on generations of pain, obedience, and family secrets. Every attempt to fight back only reveals darker truths about her ancestors and the terrible sacrifices made to keep the entity satisfied. At its heart, Khadam is more than just a supernatural horror film. It explores motherhood, trauma, inherited burdens, and the emotional struggle of protecting one's child at any cost. Melor is forced to choose between preserving her family traditions or risking everything to save her daughter from a violent destiny. Filled with psychological terror, haunting folklore, dark rituals, and suspenseful horror sequences, Khadam 2026 promises a chilling cinematic experience deeply rooted in Southeast Asian supernatural mythology. What makes Khadam 2026 truly exciting is that it combines psychological horror with deeply emotional storytelling instead of relying only on jump scares. The movie takes the terrifying concept of saka, a supernatural spirit inherited through family lineage, and turns it into a dark, emotional battle about motherhood, destiny, and sacrifice. That emotional depth makes the horror feel far more disturbing and realistic. Another major reason the film stands out is its strong connection to Southeast Asian folklore. Unlike typical Western-style horror movies, Khadam explores traditional spiritual beliefs, family curses, dark rituals, and supernatural inheritance rooted in Malaysian culture. This gives the film a unique atmosphere filled with mystery, tension, and cultural authenticity that horror fans rarely get to experience. The character of Melor also makes the story compelling. She is not simply running from ghosts, she is fighting to protect her daughter from becoming the next victim of an ancient curse. That emotional conflict between being a mother and being trapped by family legacy adds powerful drama to the terrifying storyline. Visually, the film is expected to deliver dark cinematography, eerie sound design, disturbing paranormal moments, and suspense-filled sequences that slowly build fear rather than depending on cheap horror tricks. The psychological tension and emotional pressure are likely to keep audiences constantly uneasy throughout the film. The cast also adds excitement, especially Aghniny Haque in the lead role as Melor. Her emotional performance could become one of the strongest parts of the movie, especially in scenes dealing with fear, trauma, and maternal protection. alongside actors like Remy Ishak as Awang, Siti Khadijah Halim as Manis, Zarra Zaff as Pute, Karl as Itam, and June Lojong as Nekma. The film has a strong lineup capable of bringing the terrifying story to life. Most importantly, Khadam feels different because the horror is not only supernatural, it's emotional, generational, and psychological. The idea that evil can be inherited through family bloodline makes the story much more haunting, and that emotional horror is what could make this movie unforgettable for audiences. The movie is scheduled to release on June 11, 2026. If you love psychological horror mixed with emotional storytelling and terrifying supernatural legends, then this movie should definitely be on your watch list. So get ready for a spine-chilling cinematic experience, and don't forget to watch Khadam 2026 when it hits theaters. Also, like, share, and subscribe to CheezeDrama for more upcoming movie updates, drama reviews, and horror film recommendations.